For example, let's say a child come to school and you ask a question. Due to the torn uniform, below the armpits, the child will feel shy to raise up the hand to answer a question. So I took it upon myself and I got a sewing machine. Then I started to stitch and patch out the worn uniforms for them.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Faces of Ghana with me, Philip Abutiati on Yen TV. So today we are taking you to the Bono region to tell a story that would inspire you. As I always say, this is the show that inspires you. Today we are talking about Janet Asibi. She's a teacher, a fresh graduate or a graduate teacher who has been posted to the Bono region, the SDA basic school. But upon reaching the school, she realized that there is a peculiar need where students do not have uniforms, and so she has taken it upon herself to sew and to stitch worn-out uniforms of her students. We will hear from Janet shortly, but before we do that, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all our social media platforms.
My name is Janet Asibi. I hail from the Upper East region and I live at Sinyani. I went to college at Bekum training and I was posted to Nsiatere SDA Basic School for my service. And I continued the service there. So upon reaching the school, I realized that some of the students comes to school with torn uniforms and others too with no uniform, and it was having an effect on their education. For example, let's say a child come to school and you ask a question. Due to the torn uniform, below the armpits, the child will feel shy to raise up the hand to answer a question. So I took it upon myself and I got a sewing machine. Then I started to stitch and patch out the worn uniforms for them. I'm not a seamstress. It's my sister who is a seamstress. So when I go to the house and she's sewing, then I'll be looking at her. So I learned it from her. I grew up at Fiapre. That's where I was born. We are 4 and I'm the 3rd born. That's 3 girls and 1 boy. I went to school at, that's the primary, Fiapre Methodist Primary, and the SHS at Odumasimani Senior High, Sunyani Odumasi, and the training college too at Bekum training. I wasn't aware that I was going to a remote area because they just post you there for your internship. So I went there and that's what I faced here. I love children, so whenever I see them in such a situation that's not, then I feel bad about it. So when I went there, then I saw them, I thought that I could do something to help them. So that's what made me help them. I was posting the work on Facebook. So I posted that I needed a sewing machine because the one that I was using broke down. So a woman saw it on Facebook, then she called me and said she wants to buy me the machine. So she bought it for me. The first time I sewed for a child was, I saw some smiles on their faces, like they were happy. It's continued because it's not just one person who is in need, but many people in the school and the community as a whole. So many students have benefited from it that I can't count, so many. One emotional moment was, there was a child who was truant. So I asked him why, and he said because he has a torn uniform and he feels shy to come to school and to even mingle with the students when it's break time. So after I did the stitching for him, he always comes to school and I felt he was happy, and with the look on the face, he was really happy. I got a feedback from my parents. That was when I started with the One Student One Uniform project. There was a girl in my class, she wasn't having a uniform. So I sewed one for her and the mother came crying, the mother was overjoyed. She was saying that although someone would say the uniform is less, it costs less, but as for my school, the uniform, it costs much. So she didn't have that money to sew for the child. So me raising that burden from her head she was very happy with that. My school, that's SDA Basic School, they have really accepted me and accepted what I'm doing, and they're happy with it. I used to go to different schools, and because it's not only my school that's in need. I realized that the community, some schools are in need more than even my school. So I extended it to different schools as well. Before I go to a school, I first of all speak with the headmaster or mistress in the school. I will let my headmaster call them to alert them that a teacher will be coming to their school to sew for the children. So with the sewing and teaching, like, I use my free time and break time in doing that. So whenever it's break time, then I'm free. Then I move around the schools to search for those students who are in need of uniforms and those who have torn uniforms. The number of students that I've been able to stitch for them is like, let's say 500 plus. Yeah. But for the one student, one uniform, 150 students have benefited so far from the newly uniforms. So one student, one uniform projects came from the stitching and patching of the uniforms, because I realized some of the students' uniforms were totally damaged, and with the help of some donors on Facebook and through the social media, I started with one student, one uniform. When someone wants to help us, maybe with not cash, but I mean machine, uniform, school bags, everything, the person will just call me, then I'll come for it. So if I'm able to get a massive support, I will be able to help children in the remote area, in the less privileged. The government should support us with uniforms, desks, and even classrooms. Yes, some sit under trees to learn, and it's so pathetic. So we just call upon the government to help us. The number is 024-1155-507.
Yeah, so that was the story of Janet Asibi, the inspiring and passionate teacher. You should do well to support her. And also, if there is any inspiring story that you think it's worth following up on, feel free, slide into our DMs, leave it in the comment section below. Reach out to me on social media and I'll get back to you. Until then, remember to be peaceful as a Ghanaian and keep interacting with us on yen.com.gh.